Hey everyone, it's CJ, and welcome to another speed build. This one is of my 100 baby challenge house. I just completely demolished it, and I had like 47, I guess a little bit more, a little less than 50,000 simoleons to build this. I decided to go with like an antebellum home style house because that is what I'm used to seeing. I live in the South. I've said that a lot of times. and I'm just used to seeing this kind of house. This is the kind of house that I've always like dreamt of living in, just because this is like, the rich fancy house where I live. This is what that looks like. So I just kind of modeled it off after a very simple home that is kind of near where I used to live, and I like it. I don't know. It's not a very detailed home, and I've started running out of money, so towards the end I didn't have like any simoleons to decorate with, basically, and so the rooms and the furnishing and stuff is kind of boring. It's just like the outside that I really like, and even like the beginning when I do the tour at the end of the video, I think the mailbox is inside the house. It's so weird. I don't know. But yeah, there's just a couple little things that I've added, especially in the screenshots at the end, like landscaping and stuff. Just because I, was playing also when I was building this house, so I had some, what's the word, some more simoleons come in, and as I did, I just started adding more stuff, and I added those screenshots to make this more interesting. So I really like this house, so it turned out like pretty good for my needs. I think it ends up being 5 bedrooms, 3 bathrooms. It's got like a little study, a little dining room, a little kitchen, but it's, it suits our purposes. And I left literally nothing outside. I think I didn't even put chairs on the porch, which is totally something I will do. As I'm playing, I'll just add more stuff to it. But yeah, so this is the first house I've built using OBS, and thank you for suggesting that, because it was great. It worked so much better now that I've figured out my sound issues. It's so nice to have OBS. And yeah, I really like this house. I just look at it and I just think, oh, I want this to be my house that I live in. And that's just because I love this style of house. This is what I've always wanted to live in. And I actually do tours of antebellum homes all the time. We have a lot of them, and in case you don't know, antebellum means before war, and in the American South, that means before the American Civil War. So a lot of these are like plantation style houses, and I've always thought they were very beautiful. Obviously, the history behind them is not great. Not great at all, actually. And when you tour the houses, you learn about some of like the horrors that happened before the Civil War, like the horrors of slavery and everything. And it's definitely interesting, more poignant than what you'd learn in a history class, for sure. Probably not good topic for a speed build, but it happened. It's true. It's real, and you see that when you tour these houses, and the fact that they've been so well kept since. I mean, it's been hundreds of years, so they're very old for America. We don't have a lot of old houses. It's just we're not a very old country. So seeing them, it's very I don't know, it's not soothing. It's interesting to me to see something so old here, especially since I grew up in California, like when I was a kid, so nothing there is old. Everything there is pretty new. I mean, they've got some buildings, but nothing quite as old as this, and it's definitely interesting to see if you like that kind of thing, and I do. Yeah, so then not antebellum homes, but this style of house is a very symmetrical house. Like I said, it's modeled exactly after a house that is in my old neighborhood. It's so weird because like I am not a wealthy person, never have been, probably never will be, and it's so interesting to see like an apartment like I lived in before right next to a home like this that is worth millions of dollars and very well kept, and then I live in this tiny little apartment, right next to it. It's so odd. But that's the South for you. They don't want to knock down the old stuff to make room for new. They just won't do it. So we have a lot of really, really interesting old buildings, and yeah, I definitely recommend touring these types of houses if you can. It's definitely like worth the trip. I don't know. I've been to several cities in the U.S. That have like famous ones. I've been to the one that inspired the Gone with the Wind house. I've been to a couple down in Louisiana that were actual plantation homes that were actually kind of frightening. And I've been to a couple in Missouri that are they are supposed to be haunted, but who knows. And in Mississippi too, they had a bunch of different types of homes that were supposed to be haunted for various reasons. But yeah, it's definitely interesting. I like it. Okay, so enough about the build. Something very amazing happened yesterday. My sister had a baby. I have two sisters, and both of them now have babies, and I do not have babies. Birth to me is disgusting and terrifying, and anyone who can do it is a miracle person because it's just not for me. And I love babies. Babies are the best thing in the world, and I've always been that way. I wanted 6 kids when I was younger before I understood how birth worked. But now that I know, it's like no thank you. But yeah, I love babies, and so yesterday was a really good day for my family, and my mom had to fly in. She was out in California for work, and my little sister came in. She lives a couple cities away from us, and she brought her son, and we all were just there supporting my sister as she was going into labor, and it's her first child, and she she did not handle the experience well, but she's a trooper, so she's healing now. But she literally told us, looked me in the eye and said, "How come nobody said it was gonna hurt like this?" And I was like, "Honey, everybody said it was gonna hurt like this. Like, literally, that's all we've said your entire life is that childbirth hurts." And my mom always told us, like, "I never lied to you guys. I told you childbirth is not pleasant." And yeah, she proved it. It's not, my sister did not have a fun time, and she was very upset, but she powered through. Her daughter is perfect, and she's so sweet. She's such a good baby. She's got like the perfect temperament, and is just a sweetheart. It was amazing to see, and I'm so proud of my sister for being able to do it, even though she didn't think she'd be able to. It was just amazing. It was a really good day. And so yeah, it's weird to go back to a normal day, after something so awesome happened. So I took 2 days off. I didn't have a baby, but I decided I wasn't going to work, and it was really, really a good time. I got to hold her. She was just a few hours old, and she's just so sweet, and she looked like me. And it's so weird to see that. My sisters and we look very different because my parents are both half white and half not white. So my mother's half white or Caucasian, whatever you want to call it. She's half Norwegian, like literally her father's from Norway, and then her mother is Korean, my grandmother. And then my father is half white again, but his mother is from Louisiana, and she has a mix of European heritage. And then he's half Puerto Rican. So we have a mix, and it's a mixed bag of what you're going to get when you give birth. So I look very white. I'm blonde, I'm pale, I have pink cheeks, I'm very much that kind of Anglo look, I guess, Caucasian for sure. And then my younger sister that just had the baby is very dark skinned and has dark hair, and she's very exotic looking, as people say, because I do not look exotic looking, so you have me and then you have her. and people are always just so shocked. And then when we tell them, we're siblings, they're like, "Oh my gosh, you look alike." We're like, "Yeah, we're siblings." Like that's how that works. But I'm the white version, she's the brown version, and then my youngest sister is blonde and has like tan skin, but she has very Asian features. She has wider eyes, like more almond shaped eyes, and she's got flatter nose and everything, but she's blonde and has pale skin. So it's an interesting look. We're just a mixed family. It's so funny. When I was a young kid, I'd tell people, "Oh, I'm Korean," and they would just laugh and be like, "You're weird." No, you're not. But you get used to it after a while, and then it just became such a part of me. I didn't even realize I was white for a very long time. So yeah, that's a little bit about our history. But that baby, she looks just like me when I was a baby. She's very pink, and she has like a grumpy face, and that's me for sure. So when I looked at her, I just said, "Oh my gosh, she looks like me." And my mom said, "Yep, she looks exactly like you. It's crazy." So yeah, that's fun. It's nice to see like the family resemblance. My nephew, who's 5, was there, and he was not happy about it. We've always said that my sister cannot have another baby. My sister, the blonde one, she cannot have another baby because he's very, very jealous, and he cannot handle it. And she has 2 stepdaughters, so he has 2 stepsisters, and they are like 9 and 7, I think, or just about to be 9 and 7, and they're sweet, sweet girls, but he's so jealous, and he does not want his mother giving them any attention, and it's just really, really funny. So when we were at the hospital, and then we were holding the baby, he just said, "I want to leave. I don't like it here." It was really sweet, though. He was trying to be supportive, but he just did not like it. I really thought that was sweet. But yeah, so he turned 5 on Wednesday. It was the 11th. And then my sister had her baby on the 12th. So they all have a birthday really close together. And me and my sister have birthdays really close together. We're actually only 11 months apart. We're 11 months and 2 weeks apart. So nearly a year, but not quite a year. So for 2 weeks, every year since we were children, we have been the same age for just 2 weeks. And she used to just lord it over me and be like, "You can't boss me around. I'm the same age as you," because I'm older. And she always thought I was very bossy. I don't think I was bossy, but no, I was bossy. It's true. I was very bossy. I was a bossy child, and I own it. I'm a bossy adult. Oh yeah, okay, so on this table thing, I did the whole circular thing. I thought it looked really good in this area, to have like a round table rather than a long one that they'd all sit at, especially since the room is so oddly shaped. But yeah, I didn't have much money. This house is only it's less than 50,000 simoleons, the gallery version, I'm pretty sure. Actually, I don't know if I shared it before I made the changes. But yeah, I did a little bit of decoration, but everything's really simple just because I didn't have a lot of money and I was trying to furnish it all. I put this little bar under the staircase, because I wanted something there. I didn't like the way the staircase looked with, everything, like the wall underneath it. But that is not typical of an antebellum home. Everything's really sturdy, and that's why they've lasted so long. So like there would not be an empty space under the staircase. If there was, it would be like storage, and it would be walled in, like the cupboard under the stairs in Harry Potter, that kind of thing, because it's just not sturdy to have nothing underneath there. That's how your staircase falls apart. So I put the infant in her room because I didn't want her to have to go upstairs to take care of the baby. So yeah, this is our matriarch's room, and it's very, very blue. I really like blue. I've said this in a lot of my other builds. Blue and green are how I normally decorate. I don't like other colors. I do like other colors, but blue and green are my favorite, and I think it's because they're calming and they feel earthy at the same time. I did use a lot of browns too, which is odd for me because like brown is dark and I don't really care for it in homes. Like if I had my own home, like instead of this apartment, everything would be white and blue and maybe gray. My husband really likes gray stuff, so maybe gray, but everything I like is white and blue. I did add a green rug, and I just liked the way that it looked. I thought it popped in there. It's kind of weird. I know I don't have the best taste for inside, like, what do you call it, interior decorating, but, you know, it's fine. I've been on a lot of these home tours, and this is just how most of these houses look to me, so that's what I went with, and it's fine. Another interesting thing about the antebellum homes is that a lot of them have been lived in since, you know, before the war. So some of them have been modernized in different ways and then brought back to what they imagined the original house looked like. But a lot of them had some touches of modern decor that were like really funny. I went into one house that had a lady who was just obsessed with like postmodern 1950s kind of style, like 60s, 50s, I don't know when it was exactly, but they had like these like vinyl dinette furniture and stuff like that, but in this old kitchen that still had like a wood burning stove, and it was just really interesting, and the way they told the story was amazing. They said, you know, oh, they've always wanted the history of the house to be kept intact, so we left most of it, but, you know, the woman of the house that married into this family, she insisted on having her own spaces, so they gave her, like, the kitchen and the bathroom. So all of the kitchen and the bathrooms were fancy and pretty and very, but they were very 1950s. And then all of the rest of the home was just the original old-style home. So I did separate the upstairs bedrooms into boys and girls, but I have a feeling I'll be like keeping them, you know, as whatever, like just by age group. So I have like a room that could be like a teen and a child, and a room that could be a toddler and a child, and that's on both sides. And then I have the girls' bathroom and the boys' bathroom, and they're identical. I added a couple rugs. Oh, I'm done. Screenshots time. Oh no, this is the tour. Okay, so I tried getting this to be as close to like a normal tour as possible, but this is my first one, so bear with me. There is a mailbox right on the other side of this door. Don't know why it was there, just I guess I couldn't be bothered to move it. But yeah, that's the entryway. Here's the little office. You can see we broke. Here is the dining area. You saw the little bar in there. Here's the kitchen. It's got everything you need, but it's not fancy at all. They're not a fancy family, honestly. I mean, she's kind of trashy if you think about it. Here's her bathroom, though, which I love. I think it's beautiful. And then her bedroom, which we go through the closet. Yep. And then we're going to go upstairs, take a peek at the kids' bedrooms. Like I said, everything's very simple. This can totally be, like, you know, decorated up if you had more than 50,000 simoleons, but I didn't, so this is what we get. Here's one of the boys' rooms, very simple. Then we're going to go down the narrow hall into the boy and toddler room, and then the boys' bathroom, I guess. Oop, we went right out onto the porch. Yep, and then we've got the girls' teen room, which is very simple. And then the girls' toddler room, also very simple, very pink, you know, not very me. And then I just took you guys out on the balcony, just for a little bit, just for some fun. But yeah, so we're going to get into the screenshots now. Thank you guys for watching, and have a great day.